Welcome back to part 2 of this series of making cider on the cheap. Now on this part 2 what we're going to do is go through the bottling process. Now then, this has taken 9 days and she's stopped fermenting now. I've checked the hydrometer reading on it, it's down to 1, which says it's ready for bottling, but it's a little bit cloudy still. So what I want to do with this is I'm going to transfer it through to this other barrel here, just let it sit a couple more days. I'm not 100% sure whether I should seal the lid on it, or I've actually got a pressure release lid. Should the pressure build up to more than, I think it's like 15 psi or something, it says on there. Yeah, I'll just give it a few days to settle before I bottle it. So let's get this out of here and into there. I've got everything already sterilised here, my siphon tube, so let's get to it. Right, this is my fancy siphon tube. Try not to let it disturb the bottom too much. I've seen some people have little clamps which hold them in place, but I haven't got one of them. We're going to do it freehand, so let's see. I'm just going to give her a couple of pumps, and there she goes. So let's wait a couple of minutes and hopefully not disturb too much down the bottom there. I can see I'm slightly off the bottom, so we'll see what happens when we get it down here and see how much waste we actually have. Right, we've got it out of this barrel and we're now into this barrel. Now one thing I have done, I've always get the temperature, it's always been at 20 degrees, so which apparently is a good temperature for brewing cider, so I hope I've got everything right. Now we'll give this just a couple of days just to settle a little bit before I bottle it, because I think I did disturb it a little bit on the bottom at the last part. We've not got too much waste in there, but there's some, you can just show this to the camera. You see all the sludge from the fermentation process in there. So smells a bit yeasty. Hopefully it's a bit better when we get round to bottling it. It's down to 0.998 now with the hydrometer. Okay, I'm racking this down for the 3rd time now. It is transferred it out of here into there, out there into here, and then I'm going out here into here again. There was a lot of sediment after I've been racking it now. Hopefully this time it looks pretty clear in the bottom here, so I should be able to after I've done it this time, leave it a day and then get it bottled. So let's get it siphoned again. Brilliant siphon tube, starts it straight away. I'm just keeping it off the bottom, just in case there is out down there. I'll move it down a bit further once it gets lower. I have also done another hydrometer reading and it is at about 0.998 now, which I was talking to a guy at the brew shop, and he said get it as low as you can, and then like a level teaspoon of sugar in each bottle before you fill them. And it should give me a nice alcoholic content and a nice tasting cider, so we'll have to wait and see. So let's get this drained. A little bit cloudy, but that was the last out the bottom of the bucket. Quite pleased with this time. When I did the last transfer, there was a fair amount of sediment and dead yeast in the bottom of the bucket. Now this has been racked off, and as you can see, well, it's hard to tell, but there's hardly anything in the bottom there, so just a few bits of apple. So I think I'll let this one settle, and then I'm going to bottle it from here. Also the taste of it, the clarity, it was really cloudy to start with. There's a slight bit of cloud, that might just be from when the siphon was picking up the last bit of the bottom. But if I leave it sitting there again for another day, that should settle out, and then I'll just be careful I don't scrape that up on the last bit. But seeing as I've got that in the little trial jar, let me I'll have a little sample. Yeah, now the other day that was really sort of acidic and that, but now it's got a nice appley cidery taste to it. It's a little bit on the dry side, so I think when I come to bottle it with a sweetener in it, that should be good. That's palatable now. You could drink it if you wanted. You might get a bit of a belly ache off it maybe, but I think that's going to be nice. Anyway, let's get it bottled up now. Okay, I'll put it in my trial thing, and that's about bang on, or just slightly under 1. So there's an equation that we can work out for what it was when I took my initial reading, which will then tell us what alcoholic content it is. Pretty good, clear, everything all sterilised now. I'm going to get it from the barrel into bottles, all bottles sterilised. I will be adding sugar directly into the bottles as opposed to putting a syrup in the jar, because in this barrel, because I've racked it off about 3 or 4 times now. There's this faint bit of sediment at the bottom, so rather than stir that up into it, I can just siphon out with this little siphon. Just stop picking anything up off the bottom, even though there's hardly anything there. I would just rather put the sugar straight into the bottles, which I'll be using caster sugar and a level teaspoon in each to hopefully carbonate it and boost the alcohol a little bit. Okay, all ready for bottling now. I've got this all primed up, ready to go. Got a level teaspoon of caster sugar in each of these, so I guess it'll be still reasonably dry. As I say, never done it before. I've seen some people putting a few pounds of sugar in, but I think that's going to be a really sweet cider, and I'm not really a sweet drinker. But I'm going to fill these till about halfway up this neck here, top them off, and then fingers crossed we don't have exploding bottles. So I'm going to get on with filling them up now. So I'll probably put this on fast forward, save you watching me fill every single individual bottle. But the colour of it's come out really nice now, it's settled well. I'm quite happy with it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, that's all the glass bottles done. I've still got the rest of this to do, which I've got the plastic bottles for. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 litres there. So what's that? 4, 8, 7.5 there, just short of 2 gallons of cider there. So I'm going to push them off to one side, get the sugar in my plastic containers, and then I'll finish off with what we've got in here and top those up. Okay, well that's my barrel all bottled up now. I've got 35 bottles here, some plastic ones and some glass ones. So fingers crossed, we'll give it another 3 weeks, and then we'll get opening some bottles, and we might drink 1 or 2 and see if we can get drunk. Alright, see you in a few weeks' time. Right now, this been waiting for. I did make this last September, I believe it was, and we're now in March. Now, I did cheat and try some of this a couple of months back, and it's a little bit tarty. So I thought, well, I'll just leave it, and basically I forgot about it. But now I've got a bottle out of the cupboard and we're going to give it a try. So see what this cider on the cheap's like. Nice pop. That sounded good. Right, here we go for the pour. Well, the other one I opened didn't pop like that, so it's probably a good one. Now, oh, check that out. Not over fizzy. There's a little bit of a sparkle in there. It smells good as well. So, cheers. See what it's like. Oh yeah, really nice, really nice. I'm really impressed with that. I made this, I made my own cider. It tastes a lot like, if you ever go to these beer festivals and there's always a section with local ciders, it tastes like those Somerset Scrumpies. It's got a really nice taste to it, and you know, my dog in the back there thumping away. So yeah, no, I'm pleased with the results. Got a nice wine here. Oh, wine cider. I haven't even started drinking yet. That's quite impressive, that, seeing as I made it myself. I'm really impressed. So, a little bit in the bottle. Just leave that in case there's a bit of sediment in there, but no, it's got good colour to it. It's got that nice cidery taste. It's on the dry side, it's not too sweet, and you know, it's the way I like it, really. Yeah, so if you follow me instructions from the part 1 video and the bottling on this video, you too can have a nice tasting cider like this. I'm impressed. So anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, because you never know what I'm going to turn out next time round. I might try one of these homemade beer kits to give that a try. So anyway, cheers. Yeah.